Welcome to Marky Ready Set Go. I have got a treat for you this week. I've got a world champion, the first Gypsy MMA K1 champion, reality TV star, now turned fight promoter, the one, the only, Tony, the Rhino Giles. How are you doing, dude?
I'm good, Mark. And how are you? And for those who don't know, I am the Rhino. I am mad. And they can ask their mum and dad. They will tell them that I am a raving lunatic. And as you know, Mark, I have not had the most normalist upbringing because coming from the gypsy community and being the first ever professional MMA K1 fighter to go on and win world titles and fight all around the world.
I mean, I met you 15 years ago.
Halfway. But unless I went down that pathway, then I wouldn't be here now with you, Mark.
I met you 15 years ago. I met you 15 years ago at an incredible event run by Dave O'Donnell at UCMMA, and I watched you come out and absolutely annihilate your opponent, and I was like, this guy's going somewhere. So I came down to the cage to see you, and I said, I'm going to come down to your gym. I went down to SWS, and you rocked in. I gave you your first interview. The first time you were on live TV. Yep. It
was on Sky Sports, I remember, yeah.
And that was the moment that you and me decided to go on a mental journey. Aeroplanes, flights, fights, street fights, brawls, it's all been there.
Festivals, fights, everything, TV, newspapers, promotions. We've been to Scotland. But basically,
can you remember Jersey?
Scotland.
Can you remember Jersey when we were planking on the cars?
That was crazy. That was crazy. But you know what, Mark? I enjoyed every bit of it. I sometimes sit back here and I think to myself, you know what? I really have had a good life, a special life. And if it wasn't for the fight world and pushing myself and in them times of despair, believing in myself, because that's what it's about, Mark. It's about believing in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, you can do anything that you want to do. All you got to do is just believe in yourself and you can do it. See it in your head and then it will come.
Do you know what? A few years ago, I was going for a hard patch and you came down to see me and I hadn't seen you for a few years. And you said, right, Mark, I've got a job for you. We're going to do this. And I'd lost faith in myself. And you really helped me get that energy back. And you really forced me, against my will, I'd like to add, to get back out there and start hitting it. And do you know what? I wouldn't be sitting here now if it wasn't for you then.
But Mark, you had to hear it. Sometimes it's only a friend that will tell you the truth, you know. And if you can see somebody with so much potential and knowing their background and then bumping into them and then just to be honest with them. I know you didn't like it on that day, but a week later you rung me up and you went, right, I've changed my whole agenda. I'm back in the game. And look at you now, Mark.
I mean,
you know,
just so people understand.
I love speaking to you. I love watching you. I love hearing you.
But just so people understand.
My kids, my family.
Tony drove 3 hours to give me this lecture, and I hadn't seen him in years. And I was all over the place. And he said, right, come on, we're doing this. And you actually came down twice, I think. You made that guy drive you down as well. Very persistent. But yeah, it worked. And, you know, I mean, Tony, you've had an incredible career. I just want to talk about that. That's you helping me was amazing. But you've had this incredible career. You've won 11 world titles, is it?
Yeah, 11 world titles. I fought all around the world. So, as I say, Mark, I've started fighting when I was 6 years of age. I never went to school. I'd done like loads of work in building, but my life was going to be the fight game. It's just the MMA K1 and K fighting wasn't about at them times. But I used to love wrestling more than boxing. But then as soon as it come around and I already had a little bit of background in it, well, my life started there. It was full systems go. And I'm going to give you an exclusive today, Mark, okay, because on Terry Stone's podcast, yeah, I believe your last guest was Mr. Alex Reedinator Reed. Yes, my arch enemy. Okay, because as you know, in the past, in our profession. He classed himself as one of the best, coming off a fight with Tom Con Watson, which was a brilliant fight. Nobody would fight him.
Brilliant fight.
I took that fight at the beginning of my career, and anybody watched that fight, all right, with no commentary, and they will see that I whooped his arse, and he's never been able to live it down. So I've never said nothing about that, okay? Because we've done it for a good cause. We've done it with Kids with Cancer for a World Super title. We gave up our Christmas, months of training, and it was a good fight, okay? But he has never said a good word about me. And you know what? After watching him on that on Terry Stone's podcast the other day, I have got to honestly say this, Mark. Yeah, I don't sit and run people down. If you have a fight, you have a fight. It's just all part of the game for me. All right? I've done it so much. It just is what it is. Okay, good days, bad days. Mark, was you in the office with me and Grant Miller? Okay, sorry to put you on the spot here. When we rung Alex and asked Alex how much does he want to fight me?
Do you know what? I actually remember this, and I was there because we were out. So we were in Dartford, and we were sitting there.
Was that the office in Dartford?
Yeah, at the podcast. I don't actually remember what went down, so you have to fill me in.
Yeah, so Grant Miller said, I've got Alex's number. He told me the other day he would fight me. He wants an excess amount. Yeah, we called Alex up, and he said, no, I want more to fight Tony. Can you remember?
No.
And then we put the phone down to him. We said it was ridiculous. We all had a group meeting, and we called him back and said, Alex, we'll give you that. No problem. We'll give you that money for the rematch. O2 Arena for the first big 3X production. You got to remember, the last two shows that we've put on, that I've fought on them as well, but they've been at the O2 Arena, and they've been pay-per-view events on Fight Zone and Triller. Okay, so, and like, we have had the highest level. We've had Shane Mosley, Victor Ortiz, Big Daddy Brown. We have got as well. We have got one of he's like my boy. He calls me his dad as well. He's the Australian Tony Giles, Matt the Jedi Floyd. Okay, he beat Shane Mosley that night. Went on to fight, what's his name? Oh my God. Always, he's so relevant.
Shane Mosley is a huge deal, isn't
James
he?
DeGale. And then he goes on to fight James DeGale. Whoops, James DeGale's butt, all right, on BKFC. Didn't get the decision. Okay, then he went from that to going on Misfits, beating Anthony Taylor, making him quit in the ring. And now he is the world Misfits light heavyweight champion. And you know what? When he come over, we sat on a table, we had a conversation. No one knew who he was. I could feel the energy. I could feel the love. And look at him now, because he was doing it for a good reason, a good cause. Anybody, Matt the Jedi Floyd, okay, watch his story. Please watch his story.
Incredible.
Look at that man, what he's done.
We will get him on one of the later shows. Now, Tony, what's your first track of the night?
My first track of the night, Ronan Keaton. When You Say Nothing at All.
Well, what's the special part of this track for your life?
Well, because I don't usually not say nothing at all. So it's like someone saying, when you say nothing at all.
Let's go with Big Ronan Keaton. Well, Tony, no one has ever said that you don't say anything. You are a man of many words.
Yeah, it's from the heart. Sometimes I say too much. But you know me, Mark, all right, that if I say my word is my bond, all right, and I will die. If I give my word, I will do whatever I've got to do to fulfill it. And that's how I've been 40 years of my life. Look at all the people, you and all the people that I deal with, work with and know. All right, I've known them from the beginning. We've always been friends because they know where they stand with me.
So, Tony.
And my next project that is just about to be, it got released yesterday, is the Charles Bronson Right to Fight charity event. But it's not just an event, okay? It's not just a boxing match. So basically, it's influencers in pro, all being run by the Right to Fight, okay? So it's the highest quality of boxing. But we're putting everything that gets generated is going to the Charles Bronson Foundation. Also, all right, I've never been involved in such a hectic and such a crazy event. We've got fairground rides. We have got, well, do you know what? Okay, I'm not going to say a word because yesterday it only got dropped, coming soon, and everybody, watch out for this.
Well, Tony,
the Charles Bronson Fight Night.
Tony.
Right to Fight, watch this.
Let's talk about some of your amazing life, okay? Before we get to your next track, let's quickly start at a point where I think is incredible. The huge reality hit, Big Fat Gypsy Wedding. What was it like to be in that?
So in 2009, I got offered to be the spokesperson for the gypsy community, the Romney Gypsies, if you can see them there. And Paddy Doherty got offered to be the spokesperson for the Irish Travellers. And he went on to win Big Brother. He's done loads of different things. You know Paddy has.
Yeah, Paddy's a great guy.
Name. Yeah, but I went on there and I was just myself, and I thought if he could help with my fighting, it would be good. But I ended up going from Big Fat Gypsy Weddings to Secret Life of Gypsy Kids, 2 seasons of that. From there to the Gypsy Next Door, 2 seasons of that. From that to Here Comes the Gypsies, 2 seasons of that, 4 episodes on each one, as well as all the other as well. So nearly a decade of my life, Channel 4, Channel 5, telling the world, letting them see what it's like to be the Rhino and to be in the gypsy community.
Joe, I was actually going through YouTube the other day, and it came up Gypsy documentary. And I looked, and it was all about you. It was like a 2-hour documentary, and it was before you got your teeth done. And I was like,
yeah,
you can see the
time.
Should we
tell the reason why? Should we tell the story of why I got my teeth done?
Yes, come on, of course.
Right. So if anybody hasn't watched any of the programs of what we've just said, then I advise you to go back and watch them either on. Yes, Channel 5, Channel 4, all those gypsy programs, because you'll see from step by step how my life went. And I went from being at the highest point, cage fighting, TV, to going to prison. Look like getting a life sentence, all right? So for 10 months on remand, I've never been in prison, never been in trouble in my life. 10 months on remand, get to court, and then obviously they chucked it out of court because I'd never done it. Yeah, there may have been a little bit of mayhem, but it was self-defense. And you know as well as what I do, Mark, I've got a good heart. Yeah, so that was it. I come out of prison, and within 6 weeks of being out of prison, to get myself back onto the righteous road, I got shot in the face.
Yeah,
right, because
I remember that. On your outside your house, wasn't it?
And Gypsy Feud in the community. But if anybody ever has watched the program, they'll see that my let's just say my space in the Gypsy community is a fair play man. And a fair play man is whenever there's any feuds going on, or if there's going to be a fight, argument, instead of it getting out of control, they find a fair play man. If anyone's watched any of the YouTube videos, whatever, they'd see there's always a fair play man to make sure that there's nothing else apart from what happens, and they get it sorted out that day. So don't get police involved, don't waste taxpayers' money. It's a little bit medieval, but it works. And you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's part of our culture. But I've done that for a long time. Okay, I've been shot 3 times now on 3 separate occasions. Look, once in the face, got my teeth blown out, lucky to be alive. Okay, so did get no teeth out of it, got to look at the bright side. In my chest and in my leg, all over sorting other people's rails out. But I would not change it for the world, because I'm happy that it is me, and they do look good battle wounds, don't get me wrong, you know. They do help in places. I'm only joking. All right, but it could have been someone else, and it could have been a lot worse, because someone could have died.
I mean, do you know what, Tony,
a hell of a lot worse.
I've been with you. We were at the UCMMA Troxy, and there was a guy that crept round the corner to try and pop one on me, and out of nowhere...
Yeah, I remember the same guy, you fought him at the event before, didn't you?
And I had a fight with him.
Fighter.
And he was a bit drunk, he decided he was going to try and sucker punch me, and you sucker punched him instead. And I remember him coming off the floor, coming up to head height, becoming horizontal and falling on the floor, and then we all just stood there. He sort of woke up, everyone sort of cheered, and we went off out clubbing. I mean, we've had some journeys, Tony, I'll tell you that. We've definitely been on a few.
Yeah, do you know what, Mark? I was probably testing my clothesline out. You know, I love a little bit of WWE. All right, so
it was definitely WWE.
No one got hurt, and do you know, I love a bit of WWE. Who was your favourite wrestler? Come on,
Ultimate Warrior every time. Every time the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, every time. See what I mean? Yeah. You must be a Leo, are you?
No, I'm a Virgo.
No, you're a Virgo.
So I'm the cusp of it.
Says a lot.
There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, do you know something? I grew up watching WWF, and I wanted to be either The Undertaker or Ultimate Warrior. But I tell you what, I was the smallest kid in school, but I was definitely taking down. I wasn't really interested in football, so I would just wait and then just wrestle everybody. I would clothesline people, I would DDT people, and if anyone remembers what the tombstone was, I did it to everybody.
Oh, don't. A little tombstone. Hello, have you got me?
Yes,
Sorry,
yes, we're back. Right,
I had a
Tony,
little glitch.
we've got to rattle through this quick. So, Tony, what's your next song?
My next song is Maverick, I Need.
Let's go. Maverick, I Need. Well, Tony, I'm feeling a little bit better and I feel like I need a little bit more now. And do you know what I need? I need to know more about your story. So, what are you up to now?
So, Mark, after all of the crazy chaos, all right, that I've done, and I've got to this point here, I've done all through the fight career, I've done everything I've had to do, okay? I am now a boxing promoter. I'm the owner of Right to Fight, and if anybody goes on Instagram, Right to Fight, they can see we've put a couple of big shows on in the O2 Arena. You know, you've helped and been part of it. I have got the only license, well, Misfits had the license, they lost it, and I was lucky enough to be the person to get it, to put Influencers in Pro on the same card. I've also got broadcasting licenses, so the last two events has been on pay-per-view events on Fight Zone and Triller, so and Prime and another couple of different ones. So I am basically it's took me a long time to get to where I am now, but I know how to bake the cake. Therefore, the best thing to do is use it for the better of good for mankind.
Now, talking about good,
okay,
Tony, talking about good,
I joined.
What's the charity you're working with?
Well, I was just going to get to that because I joined forces with the Free Charles Bronson Foundation. Now, there's a lovely lady called Vanessa, which is Charles Bronson's sister in real life, and she looks after the charity, and also the head of strategy and the main pusher behind the charity is Macy, which is Vanessa's daughter. So without them two, then we wouldn't be doing this massive event at what we've been planning and working towards for a long time now. He's got his parole hearing come up. You've got to remember this. Charles Bronson has been in prison. He's done 2 life sentences back to back, and he's never killed a person. All he's ever done is been down that violent pathway and never had a person to put him in the right direction. Yeah, so let me tell you this, Mark. From being a kid fighting, the trainers used to tell us, and everybody used to get drummed in their head. You go 2 ways. You go down the proper way, where you go and you do your fighting, your career, your fame, money, future. Or if not, you go down a pathway which only one person made that pathway, is Charles Bronson. Because look what happened to him for going down the wrong pathway. Spent most of his life in prison. Okay, so but if he never done that, yeah, then that pathway wouldn't be made, and there wouldn't be a firewall in between. Tom Hardy played him in the film Bronson. Okay, after that film Bronson got aired, everyone who watched it automatically put a firewall there. Because you know what happens?
Tony, do you want to know something interesting? I got approached by a production company the other day, and they were looking for tattooists, and I started chatting to them. And I realised that I thought it was a small film, but it was actually a massive film. And it's Tom Hardy's next go out is a boxing film. And I was chatting to the production team, and they got me to, I'm doing some stuff with them, and it's very interesting. And I was actually blown away by what they were doing with it. So Tom Hardy really does love his combat sports, and he's putting it into his films.
Tom Hardy lives in Surrey, the same place as where I live. I've lived my whole life. Number one. Number two is as well, he used to box for Hammersmith Boxing Club when he was younger, a junior. Not many people know that, do they?
No, because he does a lot of jiu-jitsu now, doesn't he?
Well, I guess he does a lot of everything right now. Yeah, he's a busy person, and especially with just doing Series 3 at Mobland. And I'd like to clear up a couple of things as well, because I was on that set and around that time. A lot of people, because of the person he played, I got portrayed into that. That was never the truth. Okay, so that's hook, line, and sinker from there go. Okay, I might have been in the complaints department for the 1%, maybe, but never at that level. So there is a few little similarities there, but get
Tony,
that out of everyone because I'm sick of being asked it.
Tony, I've got a complaint for you. I don't know what your next track is, so please hit me with it.
Hit you with Sam Smith, Too Good at Goodbyes.
Let's go. Sam Smith, let's rock this out. Well, do you know what? I don't want to say goodbye to you, Tony. I could talk to you all day. And do you know what's amazing about you? You are a ball of energy that is ready to go. I ran into a friend of ours, Joe Egan, and I was chatting to him on Saturday about you, and he said, I tell you what, he's a talented fighter.
I love Joe. I love Joe.
Everyone loves Joe.
And I'll tell you one thing. But I bet John Fury don't love Joe. I bet John Fury wishes he never sees Joe for the rest of his life, because if Joe and him ever did get to fisticuffs, Joe is a different breed.
World Fight League, Fight League have put up £2.5 million. They put it into a holding account, and they've offered it to John Fury, £2.5 million for. I think they've got to fight 8 rounds. Crazy, right? And he's just vanished.
It wouldn't go past 2. It wouldn't go past 2. I'm saying maybe a few years ago it might have been a different story. But if you look at Joe and you look at John, it's 2. Yeah, it's John done that time in prison, and Joe's always been around the boxing all his life. He's always kept fit.
Do you know, Joe gave me a hug.
Joe is actually a straightforward, lovely person, and he's got a big heart.
Yeah, no, he has got a big heart. Joe gave me a hug the other day, right? And I literally fitted into his armpit. And I look like a tiny child next to him, and you don't realise how big he is. Do you know what else as well? So people constantly, all day, every day, go up to Joe. I mean, the pull that man has is unbelievable.
Yeah, but it attracts people because authenticity, right, is one of the most. It's like the most attractive personality traits that anybody could have. If you're authentic, anybody will relate to you, and he is. He's a man of his word, and he talks from the heart. So therefore, I do like Joe. He's a good person. I hope that fight never happens anyway. Hope they both get the money from playing PlayStation, but let the fight go. They're both old. There's a person that, before I forget, has been one of the main pushers behind Right to Fight 3X and been along my side the whole way. That is the man from Brixton Frontline, the Brixton gangster himself, Brixton Mafia, Mr. Quincy. If you have ever seen his James English, his Terry Stone podcast, or ever listened to any of his music, you know Quincy yourself.
Yeah, of course, Quincy's a great guy.
He's done a long time in prison. He come out of prison, and I tell you what, he's a very talented, very well known, very respected,
you know what?
Very good
I
friend of mine.
will definitely get Quincy on here in the next few weeks. Now, Tony, we're coming to the end of the show, so we need this one big track for you to play us out with. What is your final track of the night?
Cheryl Cole, Fight for This Love.
Oh,
you know you like that one.
I'll tell you what, Tony, not one person was expecting any of the music that you've thrown down today. Right,
so I just want to listen to. I just want Alex Reid to listen to this and hear this.
He actually just called me, by the way. Do you want look?
Yeah, okay, we've offered it.
Missed call from Alex. There we go.
Yes, okay then. Roxanne, it probably was tonight. Yeah, but if Alex would like to jump back in I'm being more than happy on the charity event to fight him. Okay, I'll do it for nothing.
You know,
that's not.
Do you know I'm going to?
I will whoop his ass.
Do you know Alex is doing a one man tells all show in Aldershot on August 30th that he's invited me up to?
I bet over 18. I bet it's over 8. I bet no kids are allowed to watch it.
I think it is a family-run show. I think it is
was you just stuck for words then? Was you just stuck for words? Come on. Listen, I've got nothing. I've never said a bad word about Alex, but the last few times I've watched and I've heard things, and he said rude things about me, really and truly, insulting things, okay? But you know, Mark, you're there as a witness. We've rung him up, we've offered him double the money that anybody should ever get paid to walk in there for them events.
We have had the best time with you tonight. Tony the Rhino Giles. You can find Tony all over TikTok, all over YouTube, all over Channel 5, all over Channel 4, all over ITV. You can, if you type the word gypsy into Google, I'm guaranteeing you Tony is in the top 5 searches.
Multiple music videos. French the Kid, Dutch Rally, JK. The list goes on. Johnny B, Big Fizz. I've been behind them, pushing them away. Got loads of other artists as well we're making music videos for. I'm telling you, see this boy don't sleep much.
Hold on, and I remember you from Silkies as well?
No, I don't like Silky. Silky's, but all right, Silky's new nickname's Velcro.
Right, Tony, listen, this has been amazing. You have given us the best show.
Emotional.
Tony, listen, we can't thank you enough. We're going to play out with Cheryl Cole and this, what I can only describe as the most shocking end song to this incredible interview I have ever heard. Tony Giles, you have been phenomenal.